So, alright, today we're going to be learning how to prep your artwork to start your rigging process in After Effects. So, we're going to get started. So, first thing first, let's open the file. You're going to get a character. Usually, if they're not being prepared, we have to cut them into the proper amount of pieces and name the layers correctly. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with the head. So we have a head layer here. Let's see what it has. Okay, let's take a look at the head. Okay, that works. Next we have the ears. Okay, so both ears are in the same layer. We don't want that. We want to have a left ear and a right ear. That way, if we want to rotate them in After Effects, this doesn't happen. So we're gonna select this guy here, cut. We're gonna paste it to a new layer. We're gonna call this right underscore ear. We paste it. That guy goes behind the head. I write right because it's the right of the character, not my right, because the character, this will be its right side. Okay, and then we have the other ear now left by itself, and that one we just have to rename it left underscore ear. Excellent. Let's see what we have. We have the chin, this little beard here that can go underneath the head. Something that I see is that you see this hair right here. That hair is attached to the layer head, and we don't want that. We want that separated, so that way when the goat is moving, we can make the hair bounce. So for that, we're gonna use the pen tool, which is this guy right here, and we're gonna start clicking. It's gonna make us do, the pen tool is gonna make us do a very good selection, very crisp. All right, let's hide everything else right now, and let's just have the head by itself. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get closer here. I want to get that cut right at the edge. Let's just select a little bit more. Excellent. Okay, make selection with oh yeah, sorry guys. Now
Sorry, false value is not available yet.
Alexa.
It will be released on November 19th,
Alexa,
2019.
stop. Sorry guys, Alexa got awake. Okay, so now we're gonna right click, make selection. Now we have this. We're gonna Control C to copy, Shift Control B to paste in place. So now we have hair by itself, but now we have also the hair on the head, so we need to get rid of the hair on the head. So how do we do this? Very easy. Now I'm assuming the head is gonna go around here, right, with the pen tool again. You see, I'm using the pen tool and holding Alt. You can braid the tangent if you need to, but I don't need to braid the tangent here. Move this guy a little bit down here. All right, that's good. Let's right click to get this this drop down menu with the pen tool selected. Make selection, hit enter, delete that guy. Perfect. Now we just need a line and get rid of this line, right? Because we have the hair here. So how are we gonna do that? Well, we can come and press this button here, which is gonna lock the pixels, so I cannot paint outside the pixels. Again, I'm gonna select this brown color, and with a brush tool, I'm gonna just come here, and perfect. And now let's select the black guy, so we can do a little bit of this stroke here. Perfecto. Doesn't have to be this guy so perfect because it's gonna be behind the hair, so I'm not gonna spend too much time doing that perfect line. So we have the hair. Now we're gonna name this guy hair. And as you can see, we can like lower a little bit the hair. And how do we know if it's working? Well, you can do Control T, and then move the pivot point to here. That's where I will be having it. So when he's walking, it's going boom, boom, boom. That works. The only thing that I would suggest now is to cut this horn and put it on top of the hair, so that way, you know, it's covering this little mix here. So this is how we're gonna do. We're gonna select the horn. Boom. Now we gotta make sure that we're in the head layer where the horn is. We're gonna right click on the pen tool, make selection, copy it, which Control C and Shift Control V to paste someplace. Now if I hide the head, look, I have a horn, and I can put the hair behind the horn, and I can add a little bit more artwork here so we never see a hole. But now let's do what we did previously, get rid of this this artwork on the head. We don't need it right now. So let's uncheck this button as we delete, because it won't let you delete if you have that button on still. So we make selection with the pen tool, right click, make selection, delete. Beautiful. Now let's turn back the pixel lock, and let's paint this guy brown, and then let's paint the stroke black. Beautiful. So now it doesn't have to be perfect, because as I said, you know, the horn is not gonna be moving. Let's call this left_horn. Perfect. And I will add a little bit more of artwork on the hair. So one easy way to do this, it will be to use the stamp tool, which is this guy right here. Let's see. Stamp tool. Oh, that's why it's so big. Okay. Now let's get closer. We're in the stamp tool, holding Alt. We're gonna select this, and now let go of Alt, and now you can just paste a little bit of the artwork. This guy, we can just paint it brown. Let's make that eraser a little bit better. There you go. So now if I bring back the horn and the head, and I select my hair, Control T to test it out, put the pivot point where it goes. That's as far it will go up, and that's how as far it will go down. And at any point you don't see the little hole here, that means that joint is working. Okay, let's continue with the eyes. So what do we have here? We have one layer that has I would say those are the eyelashes. We have one layer with the pupils, and we have one layer which is all white. If I hide the other guys, see, it's all the white inside the eye. So the two pupils are together, and that's a problem. We need to separate those. So we're gonna select, with selection tool, we're gonna select Control X to cut, Shift Control N to create a new layer and be able to name it as well. So we're gonna go right, R for right, underscore pupil, enter, Shift Control V to paste what we just cut. Nice. And now we're just gonna come here and copy this name and paste it here and change the R to an L, right? So now I can come move this eye if I want to do a funny face, where the eyes are separated. Most of the time I want to move these eyes, together, but you want to give the animator the freedom to do so. And right now you see the pupils coming out. That's fine, because what we're gonna do in After Effects is that we're gonna use the white as a mask. You can see here, I'm just gonna do, you don't have to do this part, but it's so you guys can see how it's gonna be behaving. You see, so the eye we use the white as a mask, so the pupil would not come out of the mask. But let's undo that, because that's gonna be done in After Effects. This right here, this is good. We can leave white together, and we can leave the eyebrows for now together. That's good. Okay, let's continue with the body. First things first, let's put every single layer related to the head in one group. Control G to create a group. Let's name it head, and we can hide it. Now we have the body solo, and let me just show you what I went ahead and create. What we need to do is we need a capsule. We need to create a perfect capsule to be a neck. This part here could be smaller if we want to, but the idea is like we see a perfect circle in the bottom, and then that stretch to another perfect circle in the top. And I can lower the opacity so we can see how the artwork fits there. So the artwork, you see we need more artwork here, and we see that we need more artwork there. So let's try. I think we can make a better job aligning this. I lower the opacity so you guys can see it. That's good. Let's put it somewhere there. Okay, let's modify the artwork. So let's duplicate this body so that way we keep an original. We can hide that original one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna select with control and click on the link. On the layer, you will see that pixelated, so it's selecting everything that is on that layer, and hold shift so we can select all the elements, the circle, the rectangle. So we have now this little capsule here. We're gonna come create a new layer. We're not gonna name it for now. We're just gonna come and fill that with brown. So if I hide these guys, now we can see this is the neck. We need to now invert the selection, Shift Control I to invert the selection, come to the body layer and delete everything that is sticking out from it. That's good. And we need edge because we have a stroke on this artwork. So what if we come and select these two layers? Well, first of all, we can see that here on the body could use a little bit more artwork to connect perfectly with that. So let's do that. Let's come with the brown. Perfect. And let's do the stroke. Beautiful. And let's select these guys again. Let's do a stroke. Oh wait, let's do it on this layer. Can go a little bit down here. Let's see how that looks. Could look better. Let's make it a little bit thinner. We're just painting brown to remove a little bit so it matches the aesthetic that we already have created. Perfect. Okay, let's see how that works. That works pretty nice. Let's make sure that we get rid of this neck here. So if I come and turn off my cylinders, I know that I need to delete everything that is outside the first circle, right? So everything, so I can come here and select this control, holding control in the keyboard, I select there, I select everything, Shift Control I, we do the inverse selection, and now we can erase everything that is outside that neck. And now we go here and we're gonna Shift Control I, so we are coloring inside there. We want, so if I hide the capsule and I bring back the neck, let's name this guy neck now, and let's bring the head. Okay, that's good. We need to like later fix this like pixelated that's happening there, but for now we're just gonna leave it. one thing that I want to do is I want to get a pivot point. So with this circle, we're gonna duplicate this circle right here. We're gonna bring it to the top. We're gonna call it pivot. Let's hide this guy, and now we're gonna go Control T to transformation, and holding Shift and Alt, we're gonna scale down from the center. This is gonna be for reference. When you bring it to After Effects, you need to put the pivot point where they go. So now we can test it out. Let's grab the head, let's grab the neck, holding Control, so that way you can select more than one layer. Control T for transformation. Let's move the pivot point where we have placed this reference dot, and then if we go down, that's good. And if we go up, that's also good. So let's make sure, let's hide the head just to make sure that it's working properly. Let's just transform the neck. It's always a try and error, you guys have to like see. Let's put this guy there. That's good. We're not gonna move the neck that far back. That's good. I'm even want to add a little bit more of black here. Just a little bit more. Oh shoot. Let's do the picture lock. That's good. Let's see how it looks. On the body, that could be like a little fold that we have there. And now if we come transform, that works. That works. Let's try how it looks, the neck behind the body, just to take an idea of how it looks. No, it looks better. The neck on top. All right, perfect. That's how we have our first joint. Okay, let's move on to the legs. So let's bring the front legs here. There's several stuff that we need to do, but first things first, let's separate them. Right now, I have the two front legs together, and I have lock pixels. So let's unlock that. Let's select this guy here. Control X to cut. Shift Control N to create a new layer and name it. And we're gonna call this guy underscore. We're gonna call it F for front underscore L for left underscore leg. And we're gonna go Shift Control V to paste. Okay, so we have the front leg. Let's copy the name, paste it on the back leg, and we're gonna call that B for back. All right, we have this leg back here. Let's start with the front leg. Just right out of the bat, we're gonna start doing our circle technique. So let's get your Eclipse tool, and let's use the same green. Let's increase the opacity here for the previous one. Select the color, okay. So we know that the leg needs to bend by the knee, even it's a goat, but we know that he has a knee here. So let's try to find where do we want this leg to bend. It's a good place to bend. Let's hide the body. So we want this circle right at the edge. We want to be right there at the edge. There you go. All right. And what we're gonna do is let's bring this close to the leg, this eclipse. Okay, we're gonna control click on the layer, that way we have the selection, right? And then we're gonna switch to the lasso tool, and we're gonna hold shift so we don't lose this selection, but we're gonna go right from the center all the way here, right? Now if I had that eclipse, this is what we're selecting. We're gonna go we're gonna go Control C to copy. We have to make sure that we are there in this layer, and Shift Control V to paste. We have a new layer, and look at that. This is how we're gonna call that. We're gonna go front underscore leg underscore. let's call it calf, but I'm pretty sure that's not how you name the animal, that animal part, but let's call it calf, like a person from now. And let's go back here and let's do the same thing. We're gonna select this guy, right? We're gonna come here and we're gonna select the opposite. Boom. Control C, Shift Control V. Now let's copy this name. We're gonna name this guy the leg. Okay, so we have this and this and this. Okay, and we have this pivot point, but it's not a pivot just yet because it's huge. So we're gonna duplicate it, bring it to the underneath the pivot layer. We're gonna Control T to transform. We're gonna decrease its size so it comes to a pivot reference. That's good. And let's see what we have if I move the calf. So I select the calf, Control T, move it. This is what's happening. Not bad, because this can help the animation look more like it's 2D. Let's see what happens when we bring it to the front. We're never going to do that because usually I think their knees bent in the other direction, but in case the animator needs to do it, it will work. I will add, let's hide the leg. I will just add a little bit of black. Let's lock the pixels to extend that stroke just a little bit. Let's see how it looks. Sorry, let's see how it looks with the leg. But that's too much. The one on the front is too much, so let's get rid of it. I like the one on the back. And now we can come here. Oh, what if we move it in the opposite direction? The calf underneath. Let's try that. And we're gonna go and move. Ooh, I like that way better. I like this way better. And I think we can have a little bit of a knee drawn on the leg. So let's go to the leg. Let's put pixel lock. And oops, let's switch to black. Okay, not too much, not too long. I want it somewhere there. Okay, now, oh well, that's too much. Let's push it back a little bit there. Now if I come here, no, the other one. If I come here and rotate the calf, look at that, beautiful. We can come and do it the other side. Great. Actually, we can add a little bit more more black on the back one as well. That works. Let's see. So now if I come and select the calf, you just have to select until it, until it looks good. I think that looks good, especially when it's gonna be moving. It shouldn't be a problem because so much going on the screen. But what is the problem is this way that the artwork was created. We need to get rid of this. So let's lower the opacity of this so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm on the leg, right? Pixel lock. I switch to the color brown that we're using for the body, and I'm gonna very subtle, very subtle. I think this should connect like this to the body, so we get rid of that ugly line. We increase the opacity on the body. Perfect. Now I can select these two guys, and I think I will be rotating somewhere around here. I can do that, and then I can come to the calf. Oh wait, you see we missed the dot. Let's select the leg, the calf, and that pivot point for now. Let's move here. Nice. And then select here, we move it, we put the pivot there. Oh, how beautiful. Okay, let's undo that. That is working. Let's save it, and let's do the same for the rest of the legs. I'm gonna put stop, and I will continue doing the rigging for the legs. When we come back, you will see all the legs are being rigged. Something that I want to point out is that when I was rigging the back leg of this character, I noticed that, let me show you, that we can see a little bit of the body. So if I come here and rotate the leg from here, you see a little bit of his square body sticking out, and that's no ideal. There's no need for the body to be square. We don't need that extra art piece. It could be like all round. So let's lower the opacity of the legs, and let's try to round this guy here. So how should we do that? Very simple. We're gonna come here with the pen tool. I always like to use the pen tool because it gives me the most crispy lines. It's almost like a vector type of feeling. So I encourage everybody to use the pen tool in Photoshop to make like very good selections. So we're gonna come here. I want it to be like a smooth transition. Somewhere there. That's good. You know what? Let's stick it in a little bit even more, but without removing too much art. Okay, that is the selection that we're gonna do. Now we're gonna go right click, make selection, inverse selection. Let's delete this little piece here. Beautiful. And now Shift Control I to again inverse the selection, but this time let's use the black just to draw, to connect that path there. Excellent. So now if I increase the opacity of the leg, I'm gonna be able to come here, rotate the leg, and we don't have that ugly little corner there that break the illusion that this animal is actually moving. We could stop this line here a little bit. There's some tricks that I like to do in After Effects where I slope, I bring another layer that is this color and then hide the line when it rotates. So for now, let's just leave it, we're gonna leave it for now here, but let's just remove a little bit of the black line. Oh, here is the calf. That's good, that looks better. All right. And we need always to test it out to make sure that it doesn't break anything. That's good. Probably it's never gonna go that far, the leg. It's gonna be doing walk cycle and jumping. But this was a little bug that I need to fix. Let me continue with the rest of the legs. When we come back, the whole character is gonna be ready to be bring into After Effects. But I will show you how everything needs to be named and shouldn't be any group on the layers. So there you got it. So we have all the layers right now. We have the pivots in the front, pivots on the back. We have the front leg, the front calf, the back leg, the back thigh, the eyes, pupils. You see, this is what we're supposed to send. Give the person that's going to be doing the rigging. No other layers, no group. We just have all this, and the person will use this pivot as a reference. For that's all for now. We're gonna in the next tutorial I'm gonna show you how we bring this into After Effects, and then we put joints into the character. See you there.